Hey, so in this lesson, we're really going to focus on the bow hold. I like to call this the bow balance because it's actually not a hold. This is not something that we're holding or gripping. We're figuring out a way how to place the fingers so that the hand is actually extremely soft. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is actually to find the balance point. Okay, so look for the balance point on your bow. And I'm going to try to do this in such a way. Um, I wonder if you're going to see this as a mirror. I think if I do it like this, just normally should be fine. Yeah. Okay. So once you find the bow balance, you'll notice that obviously the bow is heavier by the frog than at the tip because of the frog. And so you want to hold all of the weight of the bow in this bow balance section. Okay. And there's a lovely way to think about the bow hold or the placement of the fingers. And it's by thinking of, sailors on a ship. Okay. And so first you have your thumb that bends in all the way, like you're making the number four. And then your middle finger goes over the thumb. And it's not obstructed in any way. It's not connected in any round way. And then all of the other fingers just relax over. And you can put these two parts together and then you can go one, two, three, pronate, and you're rotating into the body. Okay, this is supinate and this is pronate. And this is a function that this joint of the forearm can do, and that not a lot of other parts of the body can do this type of inflection. All right, so you supinate or pronate. And in the violin, we do want to pronate because leaning on this first finger is going to give us the weight we need to make sound. Okay, so on the bottom of the bow, you see this little chair, and this is the seat where we put the very corner of the thumb, and the tip of the thumb is actually touching the hair. Okay, it's an interesting little angle, okay, that we get. And then the middle finger comes over to in the sailor analogy to check on the silver on the bottom of the ship. So we have the captain who sits on the seat of the throne, okay, which is the black throne. That's the contact point. You're not putting the thumb through. You're literally just on the very edge of this black rim. And then the middle finger goes over. It's not touching, but it's flat, okay, against the bow. And then the ring finger goes over the white window, like looking through the window of the ship. And the first finger is leaning on its side between this knuckle, these top two knuckle joints. So right in the middle, leaning towards its side, and the pinky goes right on the edge. And once you have this placement of the fingers, notice that the fingers are flat onto the bow and the pinky's nice and round, and there is a circle happening right in the middle of the bow hold. Okay, then you can lift the bow up into the center of your body and try practicing perhaps just a little bowing right down through the center of the body. Okay, noticing if you're going like this, but really trying to control it down through the center of the body. You can take a look at the tip of the bow and up through the bottom, okay, to the frog. And, the most typical violin bow exercise is the windshield wiper, where you go on one side and you feel the weight of the whole bow on the first finger, and then you come back up. And then you see all the weight of the finger come, and it's all on this little tiny pinky. Okay, notice that it's just balanced right at the tip of that pinky and going back and forth. And what happens is as you are bowing, right now all the weight of the bow is on the first finger. And then as you go towards the tip, as the frog of the bow, all the weight goes to the bottom, and you're holding the weight actually with the lower half of the hand and with the pinky. Okay, so that's one way to think of the bow hold. Another way that you could think of the bow hold is literally just relax four fingers, bring the thumb underneath into that into that black section and rotate in. Okay. Um, you can, that gives you more or less quite a nice bow hold. But what you want to do is come vertical so that the hand stays nice and soft. All right. Um, you can do then a couple of bow games like drawing your name in the sky in cursive and then checking how's my bow hold. Do I have a round pinky? Are these two fingers flat onto the stick? Do I still have this first finger leaning on its side and looking down? This sailor, if you're thinking about the ship analogy, this is the sailor who's looking straight down um, in the sea, and this sailor is the one looking at a telescope or something. Okay. And all right. Another bow exercise that you can try to do is the creepy crawler, trying to crawl all the way up the bow. This is trying to just get flexibility in your hands and coming back up all the way up, just making your hands a little bit stronger, more flexible, trying to make them active, and then getting into a bow position again. Okay. Whenever you go horizontal, check your fingers because you want these fingers to be as soft as possible. Okay. Notice that when I do connect the bow to the string, my wrist, my elbow, and these knuckles are all in one joint, all in one line, excuse me. And so you don't want to have anything that looks like this, like this, like this, nothing like that. Okay, this is all one plane. And over time, you're able to balance the bow with this little pinky, but it does take a while to get used to that. Okay, and I hope that's really helpful. And obviously, when you are taking your bow out, remember you must tighten it. And also, when you put it away, loosen your bow. Okay, that's quite important. And just as another just bow related topic, if bow hairs start coming out, make sure you don't pull them out one at a time, but take a hair and cross it over the silver, and you can hold it against your thumb, break it against your thumb, and that way you're not pulling the hair out of the bow. Okay, then you could just cut the remaining piece that's there. All right, well, best of luck with your bow hold. It takes time. There is a science to the bow hold, the bow balance, and it is very important because this is where your sound comes from. Okay, good luck. Happy practicing. Ciao.